So here are we. I'm going to explain you what is DBMS. So first chapter is introduction. So first is the main keyword is database. What is database? By the database, it means the known fact that can be recorded and that have implicit meaning. A database is a collection of related data. For example, considering the name, telephones, number, and addresses of the people. You may have recorded this data in an index address book. Database management system is a collection of data that enables user to create, maintain a database. That the DBMS is hence general purpose software that facilitates the process of defining, constructing, and manipulating databases for various applications. Defining a database involves specifying the data type, structure, and constraint for data to be stored in database. The constructing the database is the process of storing data itself on the storage medium that is controlled by DBMS. Manipulating is a database include function querying the database to retrieve specific data and database to reflect the changes. The data following tasks are DBMS allow user the following tasks are data definition. It is used for creation, modification, and removal of definition that defines the organization of data in the database. The database updation, it is used for the insertion, modification, and deletion of the actual data in the database. Data retrieval, it is used to retrieve the data from database which can be used by application for various purposes. User administration. It is used for registering and monitoring users, maintain integrity, enforcement, security, dealing with concurrent control. DBMS versus EFS means file system. One way to keep information on the computer is to store it in operating system to allow user to manipulate the information. The system has number of application programs that manipulates the files. Keep organizational information in the file. Processing system has a number of disadvantages like data redundancy, inconsistency, difficulty in accessing atomic problem, security problems. First, DBMS is useful for following things: ease of access in data. In the file system, different files are created for each user containing which data they can access. Also, in the file, for the user to extract data, there is a need for code or application. DBMS removes redundancy by granting access to user and decide which and how many parts of data is accessible to them from database. User can get easy access to data and can also modify or specify the type of information they want they want to extract. Data storage and management of data. Data can be stored in the form of subject in the file. The data in the practical world is generally in the form of object, not files. So application required to map the data into object. For further simplification, TPMS, the data can be directed stored in the form. Third, easy and efficient file management. In the file system, the entire database runs for every query operation as files are indexed. It takes a lot of time to compare DBMS where objects are indexed based on the attributes of data. The complex management of memory becomes easy to handle. With this, retrieval of data is faster than traditional file system. Avoiding duplicate and redundancy. Data normalization is used to avoid duplicate data. concurrent data accessing. User can access data simultaneously to different applications in the file system. This simultaneously led to inconsistent DBMS use acid property. What is acid property? Acid. A stands for atomicity, stands for consistency, I stands for isolation, D stands for durability. The entire transaction takes place at once or doesn't happen at all. The database must be consistent before and after the transaction. Multiple transactions can occur independently without interference. The changes in the data or transaction occurs uh, in the system or successfully or failure. DBMS advantage: control of data based redundancy, data sharing, easy maintenance, reduce time, backup, multiple user interface. Examples, or we can say applications, is banking sector, airlines, university, telecom, finance, sales, manufacturing, human resource. What is data abstraction? For the system to be usable, it must retrieve data efficient. The need for efficiency has led designer to use complex data structure to represent the data in database. Seen many database system are not computer trained. Developer hide the complexity from the user through several level of abstraction. To the simple user interaction with the system, there are three: physical, logical, and view level. These are the diagrams. Physical level, the lowest level of abstraction, how the data actually stored, and the physical level describe complex low level data structure in detail. Logical level, the next higher level of abstraction describe what the data are stored in database and what relationship exists among those. Database administration who must be decided what information to keep in database. Use the logical level of abstraction. View level, the highest level of abstraction describe only the part of the entire dataset. The view table abstraction exists only to simplify the user interaction system. Data independency. It defines as a property of Dbms that helps you to change the database schema at one level of database without requiring to change the schema at higher level. Data independence helps you to know to keep data separated from all program that make use of it. Instance, database state or snapshot. Database changes over the time as information is inserted, deleted, and the collection of information stored in database particular moment is called instance of database. Schema, the overall design of database is called schema. DBMS architecture, there are three types of architecture: tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. Tier 1, the database is directly available to the user. The user can directly sit on the DBMS and use it. The client server database are present in the same machine. Sometimes it may refer to centralized system with a single user system. Tier 2 architecture is similar to the basic client server model. The application at the client is in directly communication with database at client server APIs. Tier 3, in this type there is another layer between the client server. The client does not directly communicate with the server, instead it interact with the application server, which further communicate with database system. Then the query processing and the transaction management takes place. Advantage: enhancing scalability, data integrity, and security. Server system architecture. Server system architecture can broadly categorized as transaction server data server. Transaction server system, also called query server system, provide an interface to which client can send the request to the perform an action in response to which they execute the action and send back the result to the client. Usually client machine ship transaction to the server system where those transactions are executed and results are skipped back to the client that in charge of displaying the data. Data server system allows client to interact with the server by making requests to read or update data in unit such as files or pages. For example, file server provides a file system interface where client can create, update, read, delete files. So, thank you.